Hi everyone, I wanted to talk about mindful presence and safety in the body, and when to use mindful presence, and when it is too much to be in a mindful presence state. When I record these videos, I don't want anyone to think that mindful presence is an antidote to everything. I mean, it's an amazing way to be. It's a very open, grounded state, and it comes in handy in so many situations, except when the body is feeling so unsafe. And I would say meaning like fight, flight, freeze, fawn states, which have basically been conditioned or developed as a result of traumatic events. And when I talk about traumatic events, I mean like physical abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, domestic violence, any sort of violent situation, situations where the body has gone into a fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, and that we are still carrying that in our bodies in so much intensity. When it is that intense in the body and we're carrying that on a daily basis, we are not able to access mindful presence, and that's okay. In fact, it is safe and it is wise not to access mindful presence when your body is feeling that way. The first thing and the first point of call always is safety, and openness can feel unsafe sometimes, because there were situations we were in where we were so open that during that time we were shut down in some way. Some things were shut us down. And so that shutting down response is sometimes a wise response when there is danger around. But when there's not danger, we're still carrying that in our bodies if we haven't processed or healed through it. So what I'm saying is that the first thing we do is not to bring mindful presence and not invite mindful presence in those moments. The first thing we need to do is make sure the body is moving, that we are doing somatic practices to release the fight, flight, freeze, fawn response that the body's carrying. And somatic practices are so healing and so helpful to get you into a state of a little bit of balance, so then you can bring in a mindful presence and then do the rest of the work with what you're holding in your body. But movement is essential, and there are certain movements that you can use in somatic practices. I'm not a somatic therapist, but I can recommend some Instagram accounts to follow where you can use those to release some of that trauma from the body. So I'm going to share that in the links. And I wanted to get back to mindful presence and just say that it is a beautiful way of being, but we need to make sure other things are in place before we can access it. And we have to constantly check in to see if mindful presence is re-traumatizing for us. And if it's re-traumatizing for us, we want to withdraw that attention, and we don't want to completely shut down, but we may need to distract, because the intensity of the pain that we're carrying in our body is so much. So I hope that's helpful. I just wanted to put that into perspective so that when you watch my videos, you know that my videos are more centered around situations or when you are not intensely in the fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. That's when mindful presence becomes very handy and is a very useful tool. Thank you.